Hello, I'm Will Thomas, co-author of SOS for Busy Teachers. I'm absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to share with you another aspect of dealing with the SOS. The SOS is dealing with ourselves, others and stuff. And this video clip is focused on dealing with stuff. In particular, I'd like to focus here on what June and I call mindset madness. And mindset madness is the software that we run in our own minds that allow us to exacerbate the collection, acquisition of stuff, of electronic stuff, of physical stuff, books, papers, emails, documents, etc., etc. I read a horrific story in the press a few years ago, 2006. A woman in Washington, in the States, age 62, had accrued so much stuff in her house, so much clutter, that she actually had to wade through it and walk across it. It was waist deep. Now, the horrific story is that this lady had actually fallen over in this clutter and actually suffocated. She actually fell and died, suffocated by the build-up of clutter. Now, that's an extreme story. It's, I hope, for most of you, not something that it's a situation that you're in. But how that kind of thing begins is through certain mindsets, certain ways of thinking. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm going to save this for later, or this will come in handy for a future, I'm not quite sure what, but for something in the future. This is far too good to throw away. If you've ever run that kind of programming, the chances are you've put things to one side or shoved things in a cupboard, and before long you start to get this build-up happening. It's even more intense when you have a really busy schedule and stuff is coming at you from all directions. So mindset madness, here's a really simple technique, tool that can begin to make you more aware and subsequently take more action to prevent the build-up of clutter of stuff. So here's what you need to do. Grab a piece of paper and create 3 columns in that piece of paper. In the first column, you're going to capture any self-talk that you do around dealing with piles of material, piles of clutter, emails, etc. So those software ideas like I'll save this for later, like this is far too good to throw away. Record it. In column 2, what I'd like you to do is think through the impact of that self-talk. What does that cause you to do? What actions does that cause you to take? And there may be several elements to that, so be as specific as you possibly can. In the third column, what I'd invite you to do in the third column is to look at the action. So column 3 is the action to be taken. Now, this action can be something as simple as one of the tools that we also advocate in the book, the FAB system for dealing with paperwork and physical stuff that comes in. You do one of 3 things. You file it, you action it, or you bin it. And when I say file it, I don't mean put it in a pile. I mean put it into a physically robust filing system, which we'll talk about in one of our later videos. So FAB, FAB, file it, action it, bin it. The other thing in column 3 might also be ways of challenging that particular belief. So, for example, if you run that program that says, if I throw this away, I know I'll need it as soon as I've thrown it away. Well, of course you will, because if you tell yourself at the beginning you're going to need it, you've programmed your brain to explain away situations where you then see an opportunity to use that. So reframe it. Reframe those pieces of software. If you say to yourself, I'm going to save this for later, put in that third column an action point, the question, for what purpose? For what purpose am I saving this for later? And if you can justify the purpose really clearly, articulate it to yourself really clearly, then maybe you have a case for hanging on to that. If not, file it, action it, or bin it. Do one of those three things with it.